Hello everyone. We will get started in a couple of minutes. I'm waiting for few more participants to join it. Okay. So let's start. In the interest of time, we should get started. Not others will keep on joining. So welcome to this webinar. I will be your host and presenter for this webinar today. My name is Shikhar Gupta, and our goal today is to understand what is marketing accelerator application that obviously runs on top of Liferay DXP as we've been talking about it, but we will try to understand what features it provides that can make the significant differences in the life of a digital marketer in his or her day-to-day activity. A little bit about myself. I have close to 2.5 decades of experience in IT industry, working on number of applications on B2B portals, transactional, commercial, social portals, enterprise websites, commerce application, and working on a number of digital experience platform. In my current capacity as CEO of Nirvana Lab from 3.5 years, I've been working with many customers and my internal teams to make sure that we use Liferay according to its best practices. A little bit about Nirvana Lab, who we are, what we do. So, Nirvana Lab is a boutique firm of Liferay and AI based consulting. Ever since the inception of our company, we have maintained a close, strong partnership with Liferay. We are currently the gold partner of Liferay, and our customer base revolves around the North America, primarily in the East Coast and the Midwest region of US, and also in Canada. We have cultivated a strong community, a strong Liferay Center of Excellence with some exceptionally talented team members in our team with combination of senior architects, Liferay SMEs, senior front-end and back-end developers, and CMS designers. Due to our strong expertise, ethics, and robust delivery practices, we've been praised by our customers on various forums like customer summits, and also been recognized by Liferay on number of forums with multiple awards like Rising Star of the Year in 2023. The application that I'm going to present today, the Marketing Accelerator, that won the best award in the Liferay app contest. And we also represent Liferay Technical Advisory Board and suggesting Liferay about how Liferay should be improved for giving the inputs from the industry side. AI is another very strong practice at Nirvana Lab. We've been working on a number of generative and agentic AI solutions and currently developing a platform which will give AI agents their digital habitat where they can live and thrive and perform their skills and capabilities. To augment our practice of Liferay, we have a number of other supplementary practices that support it: microservices and integration, cloud and DevOps, and product engineering. Over the years, with our experience, we have gathered all the required qualifications, certification, and compliances to become your trusted digital partners. So now, without wasting the time, let's move on to the precursor of this application marketing accelerator, why it was developed, how it was developed, and what was the history behind it. Let's talk about it in detail. So first of all, at Nirvana Lab, we have been blessed with number of customers who are running their public enterprise facing websites on the Liferay DXP platform, and we've been supporting their website. For those who've been working in Liferay or in digital experience platform, they basically understand that Liferay has a lineage from horizontal portals, and they've been evaluated one of the best platform when it comes to B2B post login experiences. And you take any agency for that matter, Gartner, Forrester, G2, and over the years, in consistently Liferay is being there in the magic quadrant of the Gartner or Voice of the Customers Award. But when it comes to B2C public website experiences, Liferay ranking doesn't have the same attribution in the industry. And this sentiment is also reflected in marketing teams, which in most situations you will find that marketing team would be owning the enterprise websites, and they manage the revenue stream derived out of enterprise website. Now, the deal is when an enterprise has invested in a digital experience platform like Liferay, they should be able to harvest the best outcomes for their entire ecosystem, working like a well efficient, well oiled machinery, whether it's a B2B experience or B2C experience. So, often what happens when Nirvana Lab is working with customers, they are often asked to deliver exceptional public website experiences using the Liferay. And over the number of years us working with customer, understanding their ask, their requirements on public websites, we have developed this tool called Marketing Accelerator, which basically solves a number of problems that a digital marketing person will need to perform in their day-to-day activity in a CMS system. So that basically forms the basis of Marketing Accelerator. Marketing Accelerator is a modern, feature-rich, forward-looking application that has been developed using the modern concepts of Liferay, like client extension, Liferay objects, low code application platform, and headless APIs. And as I mentioned, um, it actually won the Liferay App Contest Award in the recent time. It is a highly acclaimed application that has been being discussed in the Liferay circles from last few months. So, with that being said, I want to move on to what are the usual tasks of a digital marketing and what are the usual tasks of a digital marketer that gets served through Marketing Accelerator. First, let's try to understand what is the landscape, what is the different type of work are done in the digital marketing area, and how does Marketing Accelerator will fit in. So, depending on the size of the organization, their operations, and the general agreement between the different teams, digital marketing work can span across the multiple teams. Also, there would be situation where a marketing team or the content team is so large that they will manage the entire content life cycle of a website, starting from content creation, content curation, the metadata management, tracking the information of coming out of website, the workflows, the syndications, everything that happens on a content lifecycle. And they also will track the information for leads, top of the funnel management, opportunity management, gated content management, sometimes analyzing and optimizing the web traffic. Full-fledged these sort of works will come under the marketing team bucket. However, in most of the situation, these tasks will require coordination among multiple teams. Sometimes marketing teams are small, sometimes they are large, and they are dependent on IT teams. However, the primarily the objective of any organization is to ensure their best persona in terms of their web content comes out of their website, so that the search engine or the AI engines can actually understand them and rank them according to the merit, so that it can contribute to the company's targeted goals, whether it's the inbound or the outbound of the customer or the prospects or the commerce goal. It basically contributes towards that revenue stream. So let's see, things like strategy or the creation or the management of the entire asset library or the content library would be probably spanning across multiple teams. That's just not the marketing team, but multiple teams like IT, operation, commerce, legal, compliances. Everybody would be involved. And so would be the case when it comes to creation of the metadata or taxonomy. Um, some of the things, like when it comes to purely related to the search engine optimization, like providing the structured semantic content or the metadata, that will primarily reside with the marketing team. Things like managing the domain authority using backlinks. It's purely marketing function, but it doesn't even lie within the scope of the CMS work. Some of the things like managing AdWord or social media optimization, etc. They are overlap between CMS and the outside tools. So some of it falls under CMS, some of it outside of CMS, but primarily a marketing team function. A lot of things like um, content creation, branding, performance, accessibility. It's a mixed work between IT and marketing. Most will be a shared responsibility. Uh, Creating clean, optimized URLs that search engine or the crawlers can easily understand would be again a shared responsibility between IT and marketing. Creating of new content, curation of new content, syndication mostly lies with marketing. And when it comes to complex searches, AI-based searches, it's a mix of IT and marketing. Some of the things would be purely under the IT um, team, things like URL redirection, managing of the 302, 301 kind of redirection. That will be purely an IT function. So if we look at overall the way it gets spanned, um, you know, the depending on the organization, the task of digital marketing is spanned across multiple teams, but task of a non-technical digital marketer who's not usually not a very tech savvy person comes down to few things like SEO, metadata management, site content optimization, managing friendly URLs, and sitemap management. That basically forms the day-to-day activity of a digital marketer, and that's where a marketing accelerator actually comes into the picture, it performs its magic. Uh, Before we go into the feature level detail of a digital marketer, the marketing accelerator, let's try to see what digital marketers currently do in the native Liferay DXP experience when they do not have access to marketing accelerator. How do they manage their day-to-day life when they are managing the enterprise website running on Liferay? So Liferay DXP has a SEO metadata setting for what it called pages, which is basically constitutes a minuscule minority of total number of URLs that you would get in a website, because your website will contain lot of other things in the Liferay ecosystem, things like the web content, things like the products, things like the category tags, the knowledge base, the calendar events, the documents, the uh, category pages, etc. So if you look at what Liferay has for SEO metadata optimization and what basically we get from uh, what it should be there's a lot of gap. And what basically happens in case of Liferay, digital marketer has to understand the Liferay administrative panel, the control panel where they can perform all these SEO data management. So there are two problems with it. The control panel is a very complex tool meant for IT administrators where a lot of people would be lost. Non-technical people, they would hardly understand how they can do the data management. I've worked with multiple teams where I've asked them, how would you do the management of a SEO data? Like if you have to set up a HTML title or description or keywords for a web content, and they literally struggle because there's no easy way to have manage it in Liferay. Liferay is trying to improve in some of these things with CMS 2.0. However, in its current avatar, majority of Liferay implementation throughout the worldwide, they don't have support for this, and they literally don't have any support for storage of SEO metadata for majority of dynamic pages, majority of things other than the Liferay standard pages. So marketing accelerator actually fills that void. If you look at some of the other CMSs like WordPress will have either a tool of its own where digital marketer would be able to do the SEO metadata management like Yoast or Rank Math, or in the case of WordPress, or in case of Optimizely and other tools, there are things available. But when it comes to Liferay, some of the things are hidden, and it basically creates that underwhelming experience which Marketing Accelerator is trying to fill in. Um, Not only where the lack of UX basically creates hurdles for digital marketer, but also filling up the void because a lot of the features are not available in the Liferay, and the marketing accelerator provides an easy to use interface to fill that SEO metadata information. So let's look at the architecture of Marketing Accelerator. Marketing Accelerator, as I said, is a application built on the modern principle of Liferay. It has a React-based front-end client extension, a Python-based backend client extension. There is an OSGI module that does the heavy lifting for a lot of deep customization for URL management and the base engine processing for the pages, etc., so that real metadata can be shown. And basically, it deals with some of the Liferay internal things like the headless APIs. It deals with a lot of custom objects that have been created, and it also takes support from AI, OpenAI engine, for getting the AI-driven suggestions for metadata. It basically relies on Google Page Speed's Insights API for providing the information like how the accessibility of on the page is, what is the SEO performance of the page, how is the core web vitals looking like, and what is the typical the performance bottleneck on the page. From the Liferay Analytics Cloud, there is an integration for this application available, and it gives you the information like what are the page views available, etc. You know, and so this application, because of OSGI, it is compatible with PaaS and self-hosted version. We've tested it on 2024.q1 or above. It can be deployed on a Liferay SaaS platform, but the feature set would be very limited in that case. And it is compatible with Liferay CMS 2.0. We have tested with the newer concept of library spaces, CMS spaces, and it works with that. So let's look at the configuration of Marketing Accelerator. So I'm going to show some of the screens where how Marketing Accelerator looks like, and I will keep on interchanging between the slide deck and the demo application that we have for the Marketing Accelerator so that you guys can understand. So I mentioned that it allows you to do the SEO, metadata, URL analysis, some of the friendly URL creation, sitemap management, AI visibility of your website, some basic analytics. Those are the features in general available from the Marketing Accelerator. If we look at the administration of this Marketing Accelerator, it basically allows you simple configuration. So if you look at it, it is very flexible. You can see any of the sites that are there in the Liferay ecosystem in your Liferay instance, and you can configure that for Marketing Accelerator. It can also work with the asset libraries that you have, the commerce channel you have, the spaces that you have from CMS 2.0, and it can work with them. You can choose for which language you want to make it work, etc. Currently, I've configured with the site demos, the example site we have called Nirvana Corporate. And once I show you the homepage or any of the feature, you will see all the things that are available from Nirvana Commerce corporate website over here. Want to go back to the administration tab. Some of the other easy things that are available is you can configure the OpenAI API key, and this feature is basically used in getting the AI-based suggestions for your metadata. You can configure your Marketing Accelerator and get the OpenAI based suggestions for all of them. The page speed API that has been configured for getting some of the information for the URL health. And we have also configured the Liferay Cloud and Analytics Cloud API, and we'll show you an example how we are getting the page views information. Some of the basic global setting that you can delete all the resources that are being used by Marketing Accelerator. You can sync them all, and when you start using the Marketing Accelerator in your ecosystem, our configuration guide will provide you some of the information in terms of detailed usage of how you can configure the UI of Marketing Accelerator to see certain things, to not see certain things, um, according to your own environment wishes. So I will not go into the detail of this because the general basic settings are sufficient for you to get started, and it's very easy to configure. And you can, from a digital marketing persona perspective, all the things that you get are available right away for you to use. And we'll move on to the first feature of um, Marketing Accelerator, which is more of the SEO metadata management. So let me talk about the SEO optimization within Liferay. So if you can see the metrics that I have provided with various kind of URL artifacts that are available within Liferay, be it Liferay pages of a site, blogs, web content, knowledge base, products, documents, category tags, calendar events. You will see that Liferay has very little out of the box support for storing the SEO metadata. It is there for products, only for the web page level SEO, and it has support for majority of things are supported for pages, but there's a huge void for other things that are available as an URL in your Liferay ecosystem. However, uh, it's like my screen is not shared. Um, Someone just reminded me. I'm really sorry about that. Now you guys should be able to see. Um, I'm talking about uh, the out of the box features that Liferay does support for storage of the SEO metadata, and the things that it does not support for the storage. So you will see the cross for majority of things that are not there. And what Marketing Accelerator does, it basically creates the storage of that. You can seamlessly store metadata information for any kind of URL. Ultimately, the information that gets to search engine is the metadata for them. The capital of your website is the number of URLs get. um, from the search engine perspective, it's a completely opaque process whether you have the URL for a page or a blog or a web content or a knowledge base or a live product or a document. For them, it's just a URL, and they need to store, they need to be able to see the metadata information. What most of the metadata information is not available. It is primarily available for pages in Liferay ecosystem. For others, there is a void, and that's what we have tried to fill in as part of Marketing Accelerator. So if you look at the interface for our SEO metadata setup, you will find that it has those um, different URL artifacts type, pages, web content, blogs, knowledge base, categories, tags that are there in the site that we have selected. So if the Nirvana corporate website does not have any Liferay product or a calendar event, it won't show in our tabbed ecosystem, tabbed user interface. If there is a product available, or there is a calendar event available, or if there is a document available in our site, they will also show up because they have their legitimate URL in the Liferay ecosystem, and therefore they can be configured. The SEO metadata for them can be configured. But if you look at it in its current shape, we get to see pages, web content, blogs, knowledge base, because if you look at the Nirvana website, the corporate website, that's what we get out of the site. So let's look at the composition of this page. Um, it basically gives you listing of all the pages here. You can search, you can see the SEO metadata, you can edit each of them. Now, this information is also available to manage within the Liferay ecosystem, the Liferay control panel. However, its number of clicks involved to manage this would be huge, and there is nothing available for managing the SEO configuration of web contents, SEO configuration for blogs, and so on. For product, SEO configuration is available. However, rest of the things that are there for, let's say, for Open Graph, which is needed for social media content management, or the custom metadata which is needed for the social media based content optimization, that is not there. So in a way, Liferay offers 20% of your entire SEO metadata management, and we augment like rest of the 80% to make it a complete solution for Liferay URLs. If you look at the AI based suggestions here, what it does, it looks at the content of the page. It basically sees what is the current value of the HTML title, and it basically goes to OpenAI, gets the suggestion what should be the desired value that OpenAI suggests for this page, and basically you can replace it with AI based suggestion. If you have given keywords like um, higher education, Nirvana corporate, and if OpenAI suggests student-centric platform, online degrees, virtual classrooms, and if you choose to replace that in your um, marketing accelerator, you could do, and the things will be reflected accordingly in your SEO configuration. And if you actually go and look at the higher education page, render it on the screen, you will see that the title of those pages will change. I will do a case study for a website there where we are using marketing accelerator, and you will get to see some of those information. Now, needless to say that open graph information, custom metadata, some of these things are very, very critical information when it comes to commerce website. You can't expect your product to not have social media optimization for SEO, because that's what you are trying to sell. And if you don't have the inbound sale from the social media for the product sale, it will be very limited experience from a DXP perspective, and that's where marketing accelerator chime in. You can also see some of the things like schema generator, which is needed for the semantic understanding of your page on the AI. That is typically not provided from CMSs. Sometimes you have to rely on outside tools like GTMs. At least Liferay doesn't provide it, and we have made it available as part of marketing accelerator so that you can configure that. You will see that the when you look at any URL artifact, the things like their health data, like in terms of performance, accessibility, SEO, or best practices are available here. You can see for analytics cloud data, we have got a specific page where we are getting this data directly coming out of Liferay Analytics, and it tells how many times this professional development page has been viewed um, in last 30 days, how many of them were unique visitors, what is the average time they have spent, what was the bounce rate, and you can see this data for multiple time spans that are facilitated from Liferay Analytics Cloud. Some of the utility things that are made available as part of this application is which the digital marketers get day to day basis, like can you create the duplicate of this artifact, blog or article or web content, and you would want this kind of feature to be readily available as in a toolkit of a digital marketer, and you see that productivity tool set is available, and it gives you features like whether you want to copy the SEO parameters so that it gets propagated to the next page, or you do not want to do it. And those options are available for handy usage, and you can always use that and make your experience better instead of using the Liferay to create all of this from scratch. Let's move on to the URL analyzer, which is another very important feature of Marketing Accelerator. And let's look at how it works in our Nirvana corporate website. It basically lists down entire tree structure of all the web pages or the web contents that we have or the blogs we have in our Nirvana corporate website. It You can choose any of them. Let's say I choose higher education, digital commerce, and energy utility pages, and I want to see what is the actual health of this when it gets rendered on um, the page. So I can say I want to know the performance, accessibility, SEO of of my three pages. Higher education. Let me actually do it just for a couple of pages. Higher education and digital commerce. Submit it for analysis, and you will see that the information in terms of core web vitals is already available. The performance is not looking good, and the good thing about this is that it not only gives you the problem, it will tell you where the bottlenecks are, but it will also tell you what are the remedies, what you should be doing to fix this. And if once you perform and rerun this information, it will uh, perform the remediation for you. You can use it as a remediation tool, and not only it does it for performance. It You can choose. You saw in the previous screen we chose performance, accessibility, and SEO, and it basically tells you how you are doing on SEO. Looks like we are doing very good on this page on SEO. We have done all the good things that can make the SEO score to go high. Accessibility, not so. There was few elements that are not doing that great, and it basically tells you what is your remediation technique, what you should be doing to ensure that you can resolve them. And not only for the first page that we selected for higher education, the information is also available for digital commerce, which is the second page, and we can see how we are doing on this page, and looks like the performance is slightly better from the first page. Uh, it is 40%, but it's still not up to mark, and it gives me all the issues that are there on that page that can be solved to make the experience better in terms of performance of that page. So this is a utility available within the application, within the context of Liferay. You don't have to invest in tool like SEMrush or any external tool to analyze your page performances, etc. You have this tool available in your ecosystem right away when you start using Marketing Accelerator. Let me quickly move on to the other important features of Marketing Accelerator. This is again, you will see there are a lot of uh, different kind of URL artifacts available, and some of them, if you look at them, have been configured in such a way that it's very easy to group a certain kind of pages to follow a pattern. While this functionality looks very similar, very simple, and you can see that the URL of the page has been configured to uh, make it look like it's optimized for SEO, very clean looking URL. The reality is on the back end of it, we have done a very deep customization because the out of box functionality of Liferay doesn't offer this very smoothly. Liferay in general, as I said in the beginning, comes from a horizontal portal lineage, and therefore it follows very complex URL structure. It was meant to support very complex kind of a portlet scenario, widget scenario, scenario, which are multiple on a page and they have their different phases of their life cycle, like action phase, event phase. Therefore, state management through URL gives us very complex URL structure natively in Liferay, and we have hidden all of that behind the friendly URL resolver customization that we have done and given a very easy to use interface so that all that complexity is gone. You can easily create simplified URLs that are well understood by your um, search engines, your AI engines. They are human readable and therefore easy for Liferay, easy for search engines. Liferay also has a friendly URL pattern that puts some special characters like hyphen sign, which basically degrades the SEO performance drastically in the Google ranking. And we've got number of instances where customers have requested, and there are like lot of Liferay websites where we've seen that are being used, and we can really find an easy solution for this through Marketing Accelerator. I'll quickly move on to another feature that Liferay Marketing Accelerator provides. So typically, if you see the sitemap of a Liferay site, it revolves just with the XML that is created out of pages. It doesn't consider any of the other URLs of your Liferay site. You may have any number of blogs, you may have any number of um, products, you may have any number of web contents. The problem is that if you get the simplified page based XML, uh, your web crawler, doesn't get to know what are the other things available in your site. And this is a huge limitation. If you look at the uh, Marketing Accelerator, you can use all these checkboxes to select what you want to include in your sitemap, and you can generate an appropriate sitemap that consists of all representative URLs that you want to include in your sitemap. And you can generate not only the XML based sitemap, you can also generate HTML based sitemap also, and create your sitemap that is available for search engines, and actually helps and aids in your the search facility when people search on the Google to find specific content. I will move on to the other aspect of the search engine, the Marketing Accelerator, which is getting very, very relevant nowadays. And I'm not going into statistics of uh, that how many people are searching on LLMs like Anthropic or Perplexity or Gemini for reaching out to specific content, because no stats is true, because it's changing every day towards the favor of AI engines. And why this doesn't make the SEO irrelevant? SEO is still relevant because it drives the inbound traffic towards your website. But the generative engine optimization, the answer engine optimization become equally important. And because the generative engine optimization basically contributes toward building the trust and the brand equity of your website, and our search engine optimization creates the logically those questions that can be answered by these LLMs on when they are questioned. So all of this is based towards a generic standard that is being adopted by the industry right now, which is called LLMs.txt, just like how traditionally we have robo.txt for the web crawlers. For the LLMs, this LLM.txt is important, and Marketing Accelerator provides a way for you to create this important file, very important file in today's scenario, where you can interact with it, provide the markdown information for your LLM TXT, and once this information is saved, this information is available on um, your website, and it contributes heavily towards the searchability of your content in the LLMs. So it's by default, most of the CMSs are trying to adapt to this. Liferay is also behind and not there yet. And but with the help of Marketing Accelerator, you can definitely get this option in your system, because Marketing Accelerator provides that. So this is a huge improvement that it provides. I see that we are kind of short on time. I will quickly try to show you one of the site which is using the Marketing Accelerator. So this is a site meant for government contractors. It basically provides them their RFPs, qualifies them for bidding the right RFPs based on their skill. So it goes through a BD process for BD users, the business development user, trying to find the correct leads and uh, apply for the right bits of the government contracting. This is a B2C driven website. All these artifacts that you see on the page, say the typical vendor information for government contractors or their previous award information that are there in the government database system, all these information are available, and they are available on internet with a clean URL, and this is running on Liferay. How this is possible is the use of the same Marketing Accelerator that we have installed for this site, and we are using this to configure the SEO metadata for this site. So this is the example of a demo site, but this is the example, real world example, where we are using Marketing Accelerator to improve the SEO capability of our site. Not only we are using this for improving the SEO, but you see the friendly URLs, how they have been configured. If you understand the Liferay ecosystem, creating a URL as friendly as this, which is easily understood by Liferay's, the Google search engine or Bing search engine, is going to take a lot of effort. But with our tool, we have made it very easily possible just by giving the simple interfaces. So I wanted to bring this into your notice. Since the time has passed, I will quickly try to wrap up the recap of what we have seen in our Marketing Accelerator. That is an excellent tool for the site optimization within the Liferay ecosystem. It works with not only with the legacy CMS, but works with the CMS 2.0 also. It can be hosted on a PaaS platform or a self-hosted platform as long as you are version 2024.q1 or above. Um, you can have multiple instances of marketing accelerator. You can install it, you can configure it to work for one site, other site, one language, other language, one spaces site, other product site, other commerce channel, other asset library, as any number of instances. There is no issue with that. It can work with multiple instances. It has AI driven capability for SEO optimization. You can configure it to work with open AI and get the suggestions. Um, it offers SEO where for the situation where Liferay doesn't have the native capability of storage of the SEO metadata, and we saw that metrics where we see that Liferay offers only 15 to 20% storage, and marketing accelerator complements and supplements with rest of the information and can be saved through our custom objects available within the marketing accelerator. Um, it offers you the URL analysis capability, not only tells you the bottlenecks, but also present the remedies to resolve them. It offers you URL creation facility where you can create very clean and human readable URLs. You can create custom sitemap that can actually contribute towards your Google search engine reachability, and it offers you the LLM.txt that is needed for your AE engine, the AI engine visibility. It will be released in your Liferay marketplace in about a month time from now. We have analyzed multiple applications that are there in the Liferay marketplace, and nothing is available of this sort. We genuinely feel that this will help the Liferay community because the Liferay community, especially B2C users running enterprise website, struggle with how they manage their SEO, how they manage clean URL structure. And this is a tool that does the heavy lifting, genuinely tries to fill the void where it is definitely needed. With that being said, I would stop. If there are any questions that we have from the group, we'll take that. Okay. No questions. We are about 7 or 8 minutes over our time. So think this is it. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Appreciate your presence and hope you guys got some useful information. Thank you everyone.